Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you. We're here to talk about macroeconomics. At the end of this talk, my hope is that you have a greater love for the economy. My name is Bruce Kerber. I'm the author and originator of the Divine Economy Models and the Divine Economy Theory. I'm an economist in the classical liberalism tradition. Today, we're going to consider the following statement on a screen share. As it pertains to us humans, the most basic of all rights is the human right. And in the divine economy theory, we have the following core identity. Human rights are property rights, and its mirror image, property rights, are human rights. Julia and Marcus lived in a quaint little flat just outside of town, enjoying the simplicity of their life together. Yet, a mystery nagged at them, a feeling that something was missing, something just beyond their grasp. They often found themselves dreaming of a house in town, a place they could truly call their own. As they discussed their plans, a strange thought began to take root in their minds. Property rights, they realized, were more than just a legal concept. They were deeply intertwined with the very essence of what it meant to be human. It was as if this understanding had been hidden in plain sight, waiting for them to uncover it. The more they delved into the idea, the more they saw how the gravest violations of human rights were at their core violations of property rights. Their conversations took on a new intensity as they tried to piece together this puzzle. How could something so fundamental, so essential to their aspirations, be so often overlooked or dismissed? The more they pondered, the more they felt they were on the verge of discovering something profound, something that had been obscured by layers of complexity and misunderstanding. As they continued to explore this idea, it became clear to them the protection of property rights was not just about owning a piece of land or a house, it was about safeguarding their dignity, their freedom, and their very humanity. The realization dawned on them like a revelation, solving the mystery that had quietly haunted their thoughts. With this newfound understanding, their plans to buy a house took on a deeper meaning, as they saw it not just as a personal goal, but as a step towards securing their rights and their future. As it pertains to us humans, the most basic right of all rights is the human right. And in the divine economy theory, we have the following core identity. Human rights are property rights, and its mirror image, property rights, are human rights. Why aren't property rights and human rights viewed in the same light? Everything you own is taxed. Let that sink in for a moment. What does that really mean? It means you don't own it. You're paying rent on what's supposed to be yours. The state, in its infinite wisdom, has positioned itself as your landlord, and you, dear citizen, are merely the tenant. Imagine the ideological earthquake it would cause if this blatant violation of property rights were seen for what it truly is, an assault on human rights. Statism, as an ideology, wouldn't just wobble, it would collapse under the weight of its contradictions. How did we get here? It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, insidious process of indoctrination. Each new tax was dressed up in the finest rhetoric, sold as a necessary step toward the greater good. But look closely and you'll see the sleight of hand. Every justification conveniently ignored one glaring truth. Taxation undermines the very foundation of human dignity and autonomy. The rationale for taxation, at its best, is a half-truth, plausible enough to placate, but ultimately hollow. At its worst, it is immoral, a systematic denial of your sovereignty. And so here we are in a world where property rights, the cornerstone of human freedom, are no longer seen as synonymous with human rights. Why? Because if they were, the ideology of statism would crumble like a house of cards. It's time to drag this issue out of the shadows and into the light of day. Let's reclaim the understanding that property rights are human rights. Let's reject the illusion of state ownership disguised as taxation. And in doing so, let's usher in a new era of dignity and sovereignty, where ownership is more than a legal fiction, it's a reality. What can we learn from this life lesson? When you look in a mirror, you see your reflection, a clear and undeniable image of yourself. When you blink your eyes, raise your arm, or blow a kiss, the mirror echoes back your movements, affirming your presence. But imagine for a moment standing in front of that same mirror and seeing nothing. No image, no confirmation. How unsettling it would be, as if the world were whispering, "You must not exist." Is your life merely a mirage? What would it take for it to feel real, substantial, and grounded? Two things stand out as essential: property rights and human rights. These are not just abstract concepts. They are the bedrock of individual existence and freedom. Yet, in an age dominated by the ideology of statism, where the state claims authority over every aspect of life, many have been reduced to hollow shells of their potential, phantoms of what they could be. This insidious erosion of autonomy leaves people disconnected from their own power and dignity. The call before us is urgent and clear: to reclaim and defend property rights as human rights. Only then can we shatter the illusions imposed by statism and step into a world where each person's life is as real and vibrant as their reflection in the mirror. I hope that you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you next time.